A recap of Friday's game, Futures Friday, and much more on this episode of Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome, everydayer. Thanks for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Kyle Carr. I'm a lifelong Anaheim Ducks fan, and I have spent multiple years covering collegiate sports, including college hockey, and now we're talking Anaheim Ducks. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Check out FanDuel today. All right, my friends, we've got a lot to cover. There's a huge win by the Ducks yesterday, Friday, against the Predators. And then I'm going to talk to you about a new segment I'm going to be doing every week called Futures Friday, just talking about prospects in the Ducks' future. And then going to talk about the look ahead and what we have, what the Ducks have coming up in terms of games for the next week. So going back into Friday, yesterday, the win against the Predators. Like I said, Ducks win. They were on a 2-game skid there for a bit, and the Predators were actually on a 4-game winning streak, but Anaheim came out big. It was only a 2-1 victory, low-scoring game. That's kind of to be expected with some of the two lowest scoring teams out in the league right now. But it was good to see the Ducks get that win. Dostal was the first star of the game with 28 saves against 29 shots. He was playing fantastic. Definitely had some anxiety there in the third, watching from the far side of the rink. It's like every shot that goes near the net, it looks like it's going in from the angle when you're on that other side. So a little sweat there, but definitely enjoyed watching Dostal play last night. Ducks only got 15 shots, but came away with the win. So a little rough in the shot department there. Would like to have seen a little bit more offense. Nashville had a lot more opportunities than the Ducks. I don't think the Ducks had more than 10 seconds of offensive zone time in the first period. It was completely Nashville's game for that first half of the game. Ducks couldn't enter the zone. They got a couple power play opportunities, and it was abysmal again. The special teams is killing me. And most of the fans that I was around last night, that's all they were talking about was just how awful the power play is. Every time they'd make the backwards pass, they'd be coming up with speed, stop, turn, make the pass, and everyone knew exactly what to do. And then 3 Ducks players would converge in the same spot. It was like just a complete lack of communication, lack of structure, and the puck would get either dumped in and then they'd clear it out or they'd get it turned over. So it was really rough to see. It's killing the vibes. The power play system needs to change, or that coaching staff in the power team structure needs to get on out. Looks like pretty much, like I said, the first half of that game, the Predators were in complete control. There was nearly 0 chances for the Ducks in that first part of the game. I think they came out with about 10 shots by the second, like 10 minutes into the second. But then they took it over. They took it over about the halfway mark. That's when Terry scores. It's about 15 minutes into the second period. Terry with a beautiful snipe. I told you guys, I've been talking about it all week, all the last 2 weeks. Troy Terry needs a goal. Troy Terry needs a goal. He's doing everything right. He's in the corners. He's giving good puck support. He's battling. He's doing all the things that don't show up on the score sheet. He needs to score and be on the score sheet. And tonight, or Friday night, he did it. It was a beauty of a snipe. But Toronto moves in the puck. He settles and just whips it far right corner. Beauty of a snipe from Terry. Great to see. And then there was probably about 3 or 4 chances for him again in that game. He almost got some redirects on the power play, got some tips in just different offensive attacks. Like, he's just feeling it right now. So it's good for him to get a goal. It's only his second goal since the Four Nations break. So very proud of Terry. I am just ecstatic that he finally got a goal, and I called it. This is why I don't bet, though, because, it only took 2 weeks for him to finally get one. It was pretty rough calls, officiating-wise. There was a couple power plays called against the Ducks that were I don't think they were penalties. There was guys getting hooked, and then Gudis got basically they tripped together, and Gudis gets called for tripping. And then we go into the corner. Brett Leeson gets tripped as he's going into the boards, and to kind of avoid it, he loses his balance, falls back, and they call it a high stick. And then the Ducks are on a 5-on-3 penalty kill, which they did successfully. I think that it was the most energy they had since Terry scored, or pretty much the entire game. That 5-on-3 sparked something in that team, and the motivation, the hustle, the momentum just completely snapped. And those 3 penalty killers were just physical. They were fast. It was like insane. They were feeling something. And then they kill off the 5-on-3. Then the power play, remaining time, they kill that off, and it comes out. They almost got a breakaway goal off that, but then just shortly after that penalty kill, we got Carlson coming down, moves the puck to Zegras, who does kind of a blind turn, spin, backhand pass right across, and Saros gets completely duped. He thinks it's going to Hellison, who I think Hellison thought it was coming to him too, because he goes down for the 1T, but it hits Killorn's tape. Killorn pulls it back and just dumps it right into an empty net. Beautiful play. Good to see the "Are you not entertained" by Killorn. Him and Vetrano have that down pretty well. So 2 guys that haven't really gotten on the board lately get on the board. Good to see. Carlson is now on a 4 or 5 game assist streak right now. His scoring streak is going well. So all the right people are getting that momentum. They're getting the score. Jackson Lacombe was looking beautiful in the back end. There's a couple plays. It's all over social media where he just evades the forechecker and then moves the puck pretty much all the way up to the neutral zone, gets the play started, hands it over to Carlson or to Gauche, and then the play continued. But good to see him still working hard. Little bit rough in the defensive zone. There was a couple Turner giveaways that felt a little they could have ended up being worse than what was given. The Nashville goal was just kind of unfortunate. That was a power play goal for Nashville. So definitely don't want to see that. But like I said, there were some weird calls going against them. And when the game did get tied, though, before that Killorn goal, it was a little scary. Nashville was bringing it again. The Ducks were kind of hemmed in their zone for a minute. And then, like I said, that 5-on-3 penalty kill just sparked the momentum. It sparked something in the team, and just they never looked back after that. Dostal, though, because of that first star, because of the saves, like literally he was fantastic. He was the Dost wall. If it wasn't for him, the Ducks would not have had the lead at the end of that game. It was everything was coming his way, and he was just seeing it all last night. It was good to see. I love when Dostal's on all cylinders firing. Passing was rough. It was there was like they're trying to force too much. It's when they are locked on, they're locked on, no pun intended. But when they are not, it shows. There was a few times guys just saucing the puck when they didn't need to, or ripping a crazy pass and then it bounces up all off the boards. There was just little things that you can just kind of see there's a little too much, not too much pressure, but they're giving themselves too much pressure. If you can get my drift there, like they're trying to force too much, or they're stressing. Like when you're like trying to leave and you can't find your keys and you start getting all like flustered, and it's like you start stubbing your toe and you keep hitting things with your elbows, and like it seems like everything's going against you. That's how it felt like the play was going last night. Like they were trying to break that tie and trying to get the lead the whole game, when it was a 0-0 game for most of the game. Then it gets tied 1-1. It was like they were just stressed trying to get that lead after that losing streak, but they finally did it. They broke through. A good thing though, Nestorenko came up to cover for Sam Colangelo, so we got to see him play again after he's been doing really great down in San Diego in the AHL. So he played really, really excellent with Gauthier and McTavish. I honestly felt like Gauthier and Nestorenko were carrying McTavish that game. It just seems like McTavish has his sparks, but then he just kind of has like this give up mentality. Like instead of taking those 2 extra steps to put the body on the guy or close down the angle, he just kind of reaches and does the half reach. I was going to say something else, but trying to keep it PG, but he kind of just reaches out there, looks like he's giving the effort, but if he would have just taken the 2 steps, it would have been better. So I would like to see a little bit more out of McTavish. He has the ability. And luckily tonight, the Ducks did not give the most giveaways. They only gave 12, and Nashville gave 15. So coming up next, Futures Friday, new segment we're going to have every week covering the AHL, ECHL, NCAA, juniors, pretty much just what the prospect pool is looking like for the Anaheim Ducks squad. We'll get to that right after this. If you're like me, your mornings have to start with a good cup of coffee, but I got tired of settling for grocery store brands that just weren't cutting it. That's why I turned to Trade. And let me tell you, this coffee is next level. Trade is the #1 specialty coffee marketplace in the U.S., bringing you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Actually, they have a roaster out of Lake Tahoe, my hometown. Their experts have taste tested thousands of coffees, curating over 450 amazing roasts. Whether you're new to coffee or know exactly what you like, they'll handpick the perfect match for you. I took their quick quiz, and in under a minute, they matched me with a roast that was fresh. It smells incredible and tastes even better. I'm drinking it right now. Oh my goodness. My first bag was a game changer. It had such a smooth, rich flavor, and I could actually taste the difference from my usual coffee. I'm drinking it, like I said, right now, and I am buzzing. If you don't love your first bag, no worries. Trade will replace it for free until they get it just right. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 40% off your first order at drinktrade.com/lockedonnhl. That's drinktrade, TRADE.com/lockedonnhl for 40% off your first order. drinktrade.com/lockedonnhl. Speaking of buzzing, it's March Madness. It is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even who's cutting down the nets. I love this time of year. There's so much basketball on. It's the only basketball that I really like to watch is March Madness and college basketball. These kids put it on the line, and you can put it on the line with FanDuel. It's quick. It's easy. Tune in, see what bets are going on, what parlays you got, who are the comeback predictions. All of that is on FanDuel. It's super easy and convenient. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. All right, guys, Future Friday is here. Future Friday. So right now in the AHL, San Diego, they are buzzing down there, just like I'm buzzing with my coffee. San Diego has been on a streak. They were on a 3-game win streak, but unfortunately, they dropped the game to the Colorado Eagles 3-1 on Friday. They play the Eagles again tonight, and that gives them an 11, 3-2 in their last 16 games, leading the AHL since the All-Star break. Tristan Leno, this guy, he's ranked 5th among all AHL skaters in assists and 2nd among the league defensemen in scoring and points per game. He leads all active AHL rookie skaters in assists with 36. So not only was Nestorenko playing well, and he got that call up to the Ducks to cover for Colangelo, we got Tristan Leno down there just dazzling the fans. He's doing really well for the San Diego squad. So good to see the development continuing down in the San Diego program. Igor Sidorov was on a 5-game point streak that ended against Colorado, and he leads active rookie goals skaters in goals while ranking 2nd in scoring and assists. Like I said, Nestorenko called up to the Ducks due to his success down in the AHL. Everyone's been talking about him. Pat Verbeek talked about him at the migration weekend. He was the first name he mentioned. So good to see him break into the squad. Obviously, there's this kind of jitters when you do come back up, and he got rid of those pretty quick. And I like the way his speed was. His transition play was nice to see. And like I said, I think he was kind of carrying the line with Gaucher for McTavish. So good to see these young guys coming up with the hunger and the aggression that we need from the future of the Anaheim Ducks. Moving on to juniors, Beckett Seneca. This kid has been lighting it up. Completely shocked everyone at the draft when the Ducks picked him 3rd overall. He ranks 9th among OHL leaders on goals with 36. He's tied for 10th in points per game. That's 1.6 on average. And 10th in points with 36 goals and 49 assists for a total of 85 points. He leads the Oshawa Generals right now in points and goals. So he's carrying the Generals. He is the general of the Generals right now, just carrying the squad. Good to see. Verbeek mentioned that he notices that he's doing well, but they want to take their time with Seneca. They got to develop him. He's a little lankier, kind of needs to get the muscle, get his body up in shape, and then probably more into the AHL. Not sure if it'll be next year or the year after, and then slowly trickle down into the NHL squad. So a lot of growth there. Moving to the NCAA, we got Austin Bernovic, who was named the NCHC All-Rookie Team after leading the Huskies, go Huskies, and scoring with 13 goals and 13 assists for a total of 26 points. That's Northeastern. They've been on a tear when it comes to the Bean Pot. Unfortunately, they didn't go this year, but good to see that he's out there leading the team with his points of 26, and then he is 2nd among all league freshmen in goals and points. So making a complete standout performance out there in Boston. In the KHL, we got Artyom Galimov, who co-leads the KHL with a plus 30 rating. He ranks 2nd in goals with 35 and 4th in points with 35 goals, 24 points for a total of, 35 goals, 24 assists for a total of 59 points. And that's the KHL. That is a grown man league. That is a legitimate professional league. We see how many guys are over there from the NHL that go after. And so this kid, he's not playing against just, a bunch of schmucks and juniors or in high school or something. These is legit men that this guy is playing against out on the KHL. So lots of growth, lots of look to the future, or outlook is looking bright, I should say. We're out here in beautiful Orange County, and then the goal's down in beautiful San Diego. It's bright and sunny, and that is how the future is looking for the Ducks. So good to see that the growth and the development is still moving in a forward progression. And then the NHL squad is also progressing. There's the OC vibe that's progressing. So right now, it is a wonderful, wonderful time if you are a Ducks fan, because it's only going up from here, everybody. Only going up. So speaking of only up, we're going to talk about what the Ducks have looking forward next week with a couple conference matchups. So opportunity for the Ducks to move up in the playoff race. We'll get into that after the break. Do you ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? I do all the time. Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. That's what you need, the wealth. I like using Monarch Money because between all my Venmo and PayPal and my bank account from USAA to the bank account when I worked at Disney, I got all these bank accounts, and your 401ks, all that nonsense that you completely forget about. I can log in with Monarch Money. It goes all into one place. I can see all the subscriptions that I don't need to have, all of it right in one place. Monarch Money, it helps you get your life in order when it comes to finances, and then put a little bit more into the future. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That is monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNHL for half off your first year. Welcome back. Off to what is going on for the Ducks this week. They are headed to St. Louis tomorrow, Sunday, for a matinee game at 3 o'clock p.m. So that's going to be a high-flying event in the afternoon. They got to take the energy of the win against the Panther, or They got to take the energy of the win against the Predators and put that energy into St. Louis. They know exactly how St. Louis is going to play. With that aggressive forecheck that got them hemmed in at the last game that they played with St. Louis at home. Now they are in St. Louis's barn. This is their opportunity to do the reverse and bring the pain to St. Louis. The Blues, give them the Blues up there. They have to be aggressive. They got to use their transitional speed. This is that type of squad that can easily hem in the Ducks, and they can get flustered, and all of the little mistakes, all the little things that we've been talking about, they can come and haunt the Ducks squad. So let's put that aside. We're going to look at the Ducks and say, hey, you guys got this. You know what to do. You've been in these moments. Take the lessons learned. Do the right things. They can get a great win against St. Louis. I have faith in the squad. Headed to Dallas on Tuesday at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. That game's taken off. They are second place in the conference and third in the league under Washington. So the bright light for that, Ducks, they were very, very competitive against Washington. It was a couple mistakes towards the end of the game that gave up the bigger lead. It looks like it was a worse lead than what the game actually was overall. They came back multiple times and got that tie at 4-4. And then just a couple breakdowns led to the 5-on-4 goal and then the 6-4 goal. Just a complete breakdown. So those little things, if it was the other way or if they capitalized on their moments when they had the power play, it could have been a completely different story. So the bright light is that they can play well against the Caps. They can play good against this Dallas team. They have it in them. They can take that initiative and the motivation and the momentum. If they go against they've got the win against the Predators, they beat the Blues, and then they can go into Dallas's barn. They know they can compete against Washington, who's above them in the league standings. Then they got it. They can take Dallas down. We don't need to worry about those Cowboys out there. They got it. They got it. And then the final stop of the week is Thursday, back in Nashville, Smashville, Tennessee. So, again, they just got them. They played them on Friday, only not even a week in between playing them. So they know what to do. They got the lessons. They know that the goaltender's leaky. Continue shooting, continue using the speed, and just tighten down. that's the and when I mean tighten down, I don't mean like lock down, squeeze your stick tighter and be more stressed out. Just tighten down as in apply the right gameplay. Like they know they have the skill set. They know that they can play against these high flying top teams. They just have to calm down and play their style of game. Make those shorter transitional passes. Don't try to make blind passes or buzz through four defensemen on your own. Like just those heads up smart plays. And then the big thing, especially for Dallas and honestly this whole week, puck support. They got to up their puck support. That's a big issue with the team. What I mean by puck support is the skaters off the puck. So let's say Leo's skating the puck up. We got Leo Carlson. He's got the puck. He's skating up, looking for lanes. It's up to Trevor Zegras and Alex Killorn to keep up and make the transition play with him and be either the F1, F2, F3, whatever the play is, and work with him so they support the puck carrier and give him those lanes and keep the speed going with him. Because if they're not moving and they're not transitioning with speed and he gets locked down by a defenseman, then the play completely gets shut down. So the players off the puck that are joining the rush or that are involved in the play, involved in the forecheck, those guys need to be on top of it, and they got to get to loose pucks first. The 3 games coming up, these teams will battle for every 50-50 puck, so they need to get to those loose pucks first. Continue the physical play that they've been applying pretty much ever since the break and mostly all season, and they've got success in their barn. If they come away with this win all 3 games, they will be technically tied at where Calgary is now, because the Ducks are only 6 points out from Calgary. So the chase is still on after the win against Nashville. Obviously, those other teams will play games as well, but in between there, we got St. Louis Blues is in between the Ducks and Calgary. Calgary is the one in the wild card spot. They are tied with Vancouver in points, but due to Calgary having more regulation wins versus overtime points, they are in that wild card spot at 71. The Ducks just down at 65. So the chase is on. If they beat St. Louis, that's 2 points that St. Louis doesn't get. So technically 4 points the Ducks get to close the gap on St. Louis. And then if they go out and beat Dallas, they'll actually jump St. Louis and then continue on. And they have got the opportunity with 6 points against Nashville. So Ducks in it. They've got big competition coming up. I have the utmost faith that they have the capability and ability to beat these teams, but the only thing that will result in a loss is the Ducks beating themselves. That's kind of the theme that I've been getting at the last couple weeks is they haven't really been beat by, you could say that they've been outplayed when it comes to the shot department and getting hemmed in. The Utah game was a little funky, but overall they haven't completely been outplayed by the other team. They've stayed right there with them. There's a lot of 1-game losses that happened in the recent losses. Everything's been tight. Cronin spoke about it, and that's all he's been thinking about is like, look at these 1-game losses. If it was just the other way around, like we'd be talking about a completely different story right now. So if Coach Cronin can see it and he's trying to get them tightened down, but he also notices that there's that mentality of success and hunger in the locker room. He was talking to Ryan Strome, and they noticed that the young kids, they're getting it. They're getting these experiences. They're getting these lessons. It's all coming together. So let's see if they take that momentum from Friday's win, take it into St. Louis tomorrow on Sunday, and smash out the Blues, and then continue on to Dallas, and then on to Nashville. And another thing that's kind of good about the next few games coming up, they're all away games. They're going to be on the road. It's a great opportunity for these guys to bond. You hear a lot of interviews, a lot of players, they talk about when you're on the road, it's a great time for guys to just come together. They're going to St. Louis, Dallas, and Nashville. Great places for some team bonding. There's no back-to-backs this week, so they have a gap between each game. That gives them time to rest, gives them time to hang out, collect each other, talk to each other, build each other up, go get some bomb food, get some steaks out in Dallas, and get some, I don't know what you eat in St. Louis. And then Nashville, you got the barbecue. So they have got a lot of opportunity to come together as a squad and come away with 6 points. So we'll be back on Monday. We being me, Kyle Carr, Locked On Anaheim Ducks. I am so thankful that you guys have been tuning in. It's greatly appreciated. I continue to run into people that have been asking if I'm the one that's running the channel now. I've been getting a lot of great comments and follows on social media. So continue to subscribe, continue to listen, continue to share. We're trying to get everyone locked on Anaheim Ducks style. The Ducks are a great place to be. It's a great time to be a fan. So continue to tune in, and thank you for making Locked On your Anaheim Ducks your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the Locked On NHL podcast, bringing you the daily league-wide stories that matter with the local coverage you love from Locked On. Find Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Kyle Carr. Be good out there.